Welcome back, friends, to another The City of Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video. Lids87 here, and in today's video, I wanted to be covering the upcoming global event, Kimahri, that we will be receiving in the game. Now, before I get started, friends, be sure to like and subscribe if you do like seeing content like this, as it truly lets me know that you guys are enjoying said content. Alright, friends, so just like I said, January 10th, UTC time, we will be getting Kimahri Unbreakable Pride. Now, in this event, again, Kimahri, EX weapon, realizable. Yuna will be a synergy character for said event. Her EX weapon will repeat, and we will be able to realize her EX weapon into its plus version. Now, if you look on this slide right here, we will be getting a limited time costume bundle with gems. It is the Yuna Gunner costume. When are we getting an actual Yuna Gunner character? You know, kind of like the Dark Knight Cecil and Paladin Cecil treatment, right? I want to see a Gunner Yuna in this game. That'd be pretty interesting. I'm looking forward to that. Alright, friends, let's get into it. Let's go. Let me cover the very first unit. That's going to be Yuna herself in her actual summoner. Hold on, there we go. That is much better because that's what I like to see. Now, Yuna, she is a magic type support cleanser, brave battery to the party with a little bit healing built into her kit. Now, if you have her EX weapon, then that she can essentially start dumping out that brave, so that she becomes a little bit of an attacker. Let's get into her kit, friends. It's not complicated. There are some characters their kits are complicated. Hers is not. Now, her first skill, Esuna, it will cleanse the entire party's debuffs with her 15 CP. It makes it party wide. It does essentially provide Brave to the party, which is a nice Brave source, and it is based off of Imp Brave at a low action delay. Now, with her Crystal 55 passive, this will slightly increase the Brave gain, but this part right here, extends target's buffs by 1 turn, is really interesting. So, just like it says, it will increase all the party's buffs by 1 turn, so this can come in really handy, especially with someone like Rem. Now, if you're not familiar with what Rem does, any person that does not have Rem or her EX weapon, after Rem uses her EX weapon, she gets a unique buff called Siphon. Now, while Siphon is active, Rem can use any abilities of hers for free for 1 turn. Once Siphon is gone, it goes away until she uses her EX ability again. Now, what you could potentially do here is go into like Rem's EX ability, go into Asuna, extend the buff by an additional turn, so Rem will have essentially 2 turns of Siphon. So just to give you guys an idea of what you guys could essentially play around with this. Now, her second ability is Cheer. Now, this will grant face protection for 5 turns. Face protection raises int brave and defense by 10%. It's another form of brave battery. Now, with her 35 CP weapon, Lullaby Rod, this will grant the brave to the party, improve the effects face protection, and grants spears protection and small attack up to all allies. She will get an HP plus out of this while face protection is active. This is at a fast turn rate. Her abilities are pretty quickly, friends. She has really fast turn rates. And spears protection, it will grant brave regen and raises her max brave. Now, Crystal 60, aside from an additional use, this will also restore HP. Now, she's not a massive healer like Aerith. Aerith does this way better than her. At least she has a little bit of HP heal, right? Now, her additional ability is initial attack, slightly raises int brave and attack for 2 turns. Her Bloomstone just makes it better. An additional use of her additional ability and extends duration of base attack for 2 turns. Now, her EX weapon, Mirage Rod, to date, this is still my favorite EX animation out of all the EX animations, because what she does is she summons Valefor via the EX ability Grand Summon. Now, just like Final Fantasy X, where she does like thing, she does her arms, and then Valefor flies down, and she like caresses it, and then they essentially start murdering monsters. Same concept here, same concept. So upon using Grand Summon, Valefor will come down, do the thing, fly up into the air, and then trigger Energy Blast, which is a 10-hit AoE magic brave plus single target HP attack. This does deal splash damage, 50% splash damage to non-target enemies. This will grant Valefor's Blessing for 6 turns. Now, while this is active, Grand Summon turns into Energy Blast, Brave Attack becomes Sonic Wings, HP Attack Plus becomes Energy Ray, and if you happen to recharge her EX Gauge while Valefor is still out, she'll just recast it. She will refresh Valefor for back up to 6 turns, so you can still have Valefor out onto the field. Valefor's Blessing will also raise her max brave and attack and grant party regen. Now, Sonic Wings is essentially 2-hit magic brave plus HP attack. Energy Ray will raise her Brave based off of her attack, and then deal a 2-hit AoE Magic Brave plus HP attack. Stolen Brave can overflow up to 150%, which is bad. HP damage is split evenly amongst all enemies. Now, 1-3, this will slightly raise the Brave damage dealt with. Grand Summon, Energy Blast. At 2-3, this will raise the max Brave overflow limit, and at 3-3, this will raise the recast speed of Grand Summon. Now, Mirage Rod Plus. Now, if you guys are planning to invest in Yuna, take her to 3-3, and you'll see why in a second. Now, 0-3, Sonic Wings just deals more Brave hits, stronger Brave potency, 120% overflow, and this will battery the party based on the HP damage dealt. Now, 1-3, Energy Ray will become Energy Ray Plus, so this will just hit harder and has more Brave overflow. At 2-3, her EX ability, Grand Summon, Energy Blast, hit harder, more overflow. This will also brave the party based on the HP damage dealt. And at 3-3, this is what makes her into an auto farm queen. When the quest starts, summons Valefor and grants Valefor's blessings for 6 turns. Right off the bat, you have access to Valefor, you have access to Energy Ray, you have access to Sonic Wings. So this is why I'm saying if you guys are going to invest in Yuna, take her to 3-3 because this is an excellent way to start dumping out that Brave that she has. Because if not, you're going to be spamming her abilities to try to get her EX ability up so you can summon for Valefor. And with this, again, it's available at the start of the quest. If you're gonna auto, just hit that, check that auto, check mark, hit start the quest, and that's it. You don't have to worry about it. So she's gonna be pretty good for auto farming. Now her bonus sphere is HP Heal Brave Gain All, which when own HP is restored, raises each party member's Brave by 20% of their Int Brave. I mean, unless you're someone who's really focused on Int Brave, this won't really be that handy. I would prefer other spheres. Now for artifact passives, unfortunately, Yuna is one of those characters that did receive Curse Arts to make them much better. So anyone who has farmed Curse Arts before knows the struggle. Now for her, you definitely want to pick up buff attack boost all, raises party's max Brave and attack by 10% with active buffs, so this can be a total of 30% if you have all 3. Next up, you want to either get Esuna Charge and Boost, which will give her Esuna use count +1 and raise her max Brave by 40%, so 120% total. Or, since you can go either way. Now, me personally, I would probably try to, if you can't get, essentially, you definitely want to get buff attack boost off for sure. If you can't get Esuna Charge and Boost, I might get attack 108 just because, especially now with Valefor, since you're doing more higher Brave potency, you want Valefor to hit harder. So I want to pick up attack 108, and her abilities either scale with attack or Int Brave, and that's the other one. If for some reason RNG is not being kind at all, you're not getting the other cursed art, you're not getting attack 108, I could potentially see you guys picking up Int Brave just so she becomes a better Brave battery. Now let's take a look at Kimahri, aka Ronzo, aka Hornless, aka this Blue Mage, I don't know, whatever you guys want to call him. So Kimahri here is a ranged attacker, debuffer, healer, party buffer, debuffer, poisoner. He's got a lot built into his kit. Now I will say right off the bat, he is not a DPS unit. He is mainly there for the utility. So let's take a look at his kit, friends. Did I mention he's a Black Affinity Crystal character? He's a Black Affinity Crystal character. Now with his first ability, Lancet, this will grant him his unique buff called Ronzo's Trait. Ronzo's Trait will raise his own max Brave and attack and raise a party defense. Upon using Lancet or Lancet Thrust Kick, this will moderately restore HP to the party based on HP damage dealt. That is granted with his 15 CP weapon. HP recovery effect becomes party-wide. Now while Ronzo's Trait is active, this will turn Lancet into Lancet and Thrust Kick, which will trigger another Brave plus HP attack at the end. HP attack will become Jump, which is a range Brave plus HP attack, low action delay. Now with his Crystal 55 passive, he'll then have 120% max Brave overflow, just better potencies for his buffs. He will also grant medium defense up with his Lancet and Thrust Kick. The Brave hits will increase, higher potencies. While Ronzo's Trait is active, his Brave attack will become Brave attack plus, and when using Jump, he will battery himself, and then he can go up to 120% max Brave overflow. Now his second ability, Mighty Guard, when using it, he will grant the party HP damage reduction. Now, once you get all his crystal passive, his 35 CP weapon, this HP damage reduction becomes 20% HP damage reduction to the entire party, which isn't bad. It's not Porum levels HP damage reduction, because Porum is at 80%, and you can survive pretty much any kind of attack. You could just laugh it off, but at least with 20%, it kind of helps you survive a little bit longer, which is pretty nice. Now, while Ronzo's trait is active, Mighty Guard turns into Mighty Guard and Bad Breath. Now, the great thing about this is it turns AoE, and he will also inflict Bad Breath to the enemies. Now, what Bad Breath does, it will lower max Brave and attack and deals Brave damage every turn. So it's a poison, friends. It's a poison. It's a frame poison. So you can party him up with someone like Ultimisia, because she also has essentially a framed poison sap. Charlotta also has the same thing. Even with Sarah, the enemy will never have Brave. Now again, with his 35 CPU weapon, that just increases the potency of those buffs. With his crystal strength 60, he'll increase the number of Brave hits to 2, moderately raises Brave potency, and 150% max Brave overflow. This can hit like a wet noodle, friends. Just throwing that out there. This can hit like a wet noodle. Now his additional ability, All Attack Guard Up, marginally raises party attack and slightly raises party defense for 3 turns. His Bloomstone, it will grant him additional use of his additional ability and extend duration of attack guard up by 2 turns. Now let's take a look at his EX weapon, Astral Spear. Now, Astral Spear grants him access to the EX ability Nova, which is a 3-hit AoE range Brave plus HP attack, and this will do 100% HP damage to all enemies, which is pretty nice, especially if there's multiple bosses. You will do full damage, and you'll just be able to take them out that much faster. 1-3, better Brave damage with Nova. At 2-3, this is the best part of his EX weapon, is his 2-3. So after using Nova, this will inflict Total Darkness to all the enemies for 1 turn. Total Darkness, it is a 100% blind effect. You can cheese some stuff with this. So let's say the enemy is about to do a massive Brave plus HP attack, either to your party, to a single target. If you time this correctly, use Kimahri's EX ability, the enemy will miss, and we all know, like, as soon as the enemy misses, all their Brave is gone. It'll go to 0 because they missed their attack, and you can just laugh it off hysterically. Let me know if you guys do that, because that seems awesome. And at 3-3, slightly increases recast speed of Nova. Now his EX plus Astral Spear plus at 0-3, Stolen Brave can overflow up to 120%. That's not bad, especially for 100% AoE HP damage, which is pretty nice. So the more overflow, the better. At 1-3, more max Brave and attack. 2-3, when the quest starts, you will gain access to Ronzo's trait, so you'll have access to that Lancet and Thrust Kick, Mighty Guard, and Bad Breath, which is not bad. And you will also be able to use his EX ability at the start of the fight. Now with some pretty good max Brave with all those boards, you should be able to essentially clear out the first trash wave, especially if you're in chaos fights. But if not, you should be able to do a good chunk of damage to the first wave and just clear them out that much faster. And at 3-3, you will get more Brave hits, more Brave potency, and a higher max Brave overflow limit. His bonus fear is resist HP up, lowers HP damage taken by 10%, which that's not bad. I could see a tank using this, because a tank, if they have lock and they're taking HP damage, this can help them survive longer. Now let's take a look at Kimahri's artifact passives. Now he does have a C50 artifact passive, raises party's max Brave by 5% and defense by 10% while Ronzo's trait is active. But since Kimahri really doesn't have that high attack potencies, I would want to say take attack 108 first, followed by Ronzo's Tribe Guardian boost 2 stars, because if you have 3 of those, that's 15% max Brave to the party, on top of 30% defense to the party, which is pretty nice, especially in the Chaos era. As the bosses start hitting harder, Kimahri will help your units survive that much longer. And as a third option, if you can't get Ronzo's Tribe Guardian boost, then try to pick up max Brave 330, just so he could do more AoE HP damage with his EX ability. Alright friends, so now we're at that part of the video. Should you guys pull on this banner? No. no. Well, it's tough, because I've talked to a few people. Like some people say when he came out, he's like utter garbage. Other people love what he does. Now I will say this though, he does not hit hard. He is not a DPS unit. I was watching some videos before this just to get a better idea of how he is in combat, because me personally, I don't have him over on JP. I was never really a fan of Kimahri, so that's why I didn't chase him, but I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm looking at his kit. Now I will say that the utility part of his kit is awesome. He will essentially help your units survive longer with his HP damage reduction, his healing, his defense to the party, especially if you pick up his artifact passives, his 30% defense if you get all three. With his EX ability, the blind, he is there to help your party survive longer. In regards to damage, he can't really dish out that much damage unless you could pair him up with other units that can really give him mass spray regen like Istola, increases attack like someone like Barrett or potentially Rosa on the horizon, who Rosa will come back with a rework, her EX plus, she'll make Kimahri hit harder. So as long as you pair him up with the proper team composition, he'll do fine. He'll do okay. He does come back later on in his lost chapter. He will get a rework then, and he will get an LD weapon, and at that point he will have much better potencies. He will be much better at that point as a standalone unit, and that's when I would say is the best time to go for Kimahri right now at this moment, especially because we have a potentially global first. This isn't really the greatest of banners. Now let's take a look at Yuna though. Yuna, her EX weapon is returning, so if you didn't pick it up before and you are considering it here, maybe throw some tickets and see what RNG gives you, because if you don't get either or, you could pick up Yuna's EX weapon, and it's in the EX token shop. It is a part of the Dimensions End EX token shop, so you could completely skip this, and if you did essentially the normal part of Dimensions End and picked up those EX tokens, you can get Yuna's EX weapon for free. You don't have to spend any resources. Noel over there in the upper right hand corner, we have had him before. If you did get his EX weapon, he's gonna be doing some pretty good damage, because even now Noel is chaos viable. He hits hard, especially because his EX weapon ignores defense. So if you are an absolute fan of Final Fantasy X and you are going to chase Kimahri, he will do okay, friends. He's going to be fine. He'll do okay. Again, as long as you put him on the proper team compositions, he'll do well. He'll do well. To everybody else that really isn't a fan, should you chase on this banner? No, because again, we're getting a global first during the 2nd year anniversary. We don't know what that character is going to do, if they're going to be a DPS unit, support, debuffer. We're not sure yet, but this isn't really the ideal banner. I'd rather you guys go on a different banner, potentially like the Rosa banner, because in my opinion, she's like a better attack buffing support. She's got healing built into her kit. With Rosa, she can help your unit survive. If they do die, she can re-arise them. They'll come back to life right off of the bat. So, in my opinion, friends, if you can't skip on this banner, do it. If you want to throw a few tickets, by all means. But at the end of the day, I'm going to say skip this banner, friends. That is it for this video, friends. Now, as you guys saw, my 2 cents. Again, I try to put aside that me personally, I'm not a fan of Kimahri, but I try to look at his kit as a whole. The utility part of him is great. His damage it's on the weaker side, but let me know down below in the comments what you guys are gonna do. Are you guys gonna chase? Are you guys gonna skip? Do you guys like Final Fantasy X? Do you guys already have Yuna from the previous, or are you guys gonna pick up Yuna's EX weapon from the EX token shop? Alright, friends, so until next time, good luck and have a good one.